My name is Sri Muthukumaran. I completed my PG in power automation drives in the field of electrical engineering. I started my career as an engineering trainee in one of the premier automobile industries in Chennai. After my putting my experience of 6 to 7 years in automobile industry, I started my new career in NSIC. That is one of the premier government institute in India. The NSIC is basically a public sector company. It is coming under the Ministry of Micro, Small, Medium Enterprise. Basically, what we are doing in NSIC is we are having the two phases. One phase is related to commercial. Other phases of NSIC is giving the training, quality training to the student. Not only we are giving training to the students, we are focusing both on students community as well as industrial person. So how we are giving training? Basically, we are categorizing the training based upon the student needs. First thing, coming to the electrical engineering field, which I am taking care of in NSIC Hyderabad. In Hyderabad, what we are doing is we are much focusing on student requirement, basically on electrical engineering, which includes the automation field. As everyone knows that automation is basically a main bone for any industry. It may be a paper industry, it may be a figure industry, whatever industry. The automation plays vital role in all types of industries. So to make the student to be comfortable in the automation field, so we are giving training in automation field, which includes PLCs, drives, VFDs, servo drives. So only one institute in Hyderabad we are offering training on servo drive is our institute, that is National Small Industry Corporation. So why you want to specify the servo drive means the basic requirement application of the servo drive basically in CNC machine. Without the servo drive we cannot able to make the CNC machine to be run. So we are make the student to be comfortable in learning the basic thing in servo drives. It is one part of the servo drive. Coming back to the PLC. As you know, PLC is nothing but programmable logic controller. So we make the student to be learn from the basic, starting from the basic. That is, we are making the student to be make the program themselves to such a way that they will be straight away put into the job of any company. So that is our strength. Apart from the PLC, we are giving to integrate both PLC and drives. So without having the knowledge on drives, the student cannot able to make the career successful in any industries. So what we are making in our training means we are covering the application oriented things, starting from motors, how to control the motor. For that we are using the VFDs. So we make the student to be comfortable in VFDs. So what we'll make means we will integrate the both PLCs and VFDs. The VFDs doesn't record independently. It requires some feedback signal. That feedback signal has to be given to the VFDs. That signal is to be taken from the PLC. So what we are making the student to be learn here means we are making the student to integrate, to interface the signal which is get from the PLC to the VFDs. So after getting the signal from the VFD tends to respond to the command which is given from the PLC. So by VFDs we make the motor to be run at different RPM. Apart from making the variable speed operation of the motor, we are making the motor to be run at constant speed. So for that, what we are making in our training mission means we are teaching the how to check the VFDs, how to interface the motor, and how to configure the drive, and how to make the motor to be run at constant speed irrespective of the variation in supply voltage. So we are making the complete package of automations, which includes PLCs, servo drives, and VFD. It is the thing we are focusing on training in our institute. Apart from the training, we are not focusing on only on training. Since if you want to successfully entrepreneur, we have to add some knowledge on the other field. What we are doing in other field means we are doing some consulting service for the industries, which includes energy auditing for the industries, and we are doing some UPS testing for the industries. In energy auditing, what we are doing means we are going to the industries and we are doing study on the energy auditing. We are giving competent report to the customer so as to make the company to be reduce energy bill. So in this aspect, NSIC Technical Service Center in Hyderabad giving the live audit on energy auditing, and we are submitting our technical report which compromises the technical and economic feasibility of each and every energy measures to be taken in the industries. So it is one of the basic thing we are doing in energy auditing. Second thing is we are doing the UPS testing for the industries so as to make the product to be very confident to be selling in the any market. So it is a two common facilities which are offering from our NSIC Hyderabad apart from the training. It is about our training institute. Okay. In PLCs, what are the PLC we are right now we are having in our lab is which includes the Siemens S7-1200. It is one of the latest software which is released by the Siemens. So no one in Hyderabad having the S7-1200. We are only the institute which is having the S7-1200. Apart from the Siemens PLC, we are having the Delta PLC, we are having the basic PLC which includes the Select PLC. The PLC model number is MM3010. It is related to the PLC. Coming back to the HMI, HMI is nothing but human machine interface. We are having the Siemens HMI that is called KP300. And coming to the drives, what are the drives we are having in our lab is we are having the Siemens drive, V20 drive, And second drive is we are having the ABP drive of ACS 150 model number. So it is the two drives which is readily available in our lab. In third part, coming to the servo drive, we are having the Delta Make servo drive and the Delta Make servo motor. This servo drive and servo motor can be interfaced easily with the Delta PLC. So we are having the specifically main PLC for interfacing the both servo drive and servo motor. This is the item which is right now available in our lab. So coming back to the energy auditing, we are having the very new equipment, brand new equipment for doing the energy auditing. We are using this equipment not only for training, we are also using this training for our industrial application for doing energy auditing. What are the equipment right now we are having in our lab is, first equipment is power analyzer. It is a 3-phase power analyzer. The model number is ALM32. This power analyzer can able to measure the in and out of each and every load. It may be a mechanical load, it may be electrical load. It will be scanning all the load details and giving the inside picture of the electrical parameters in any loads. Second thing is we are having the IR pyrometer. It is very costly equipment. It is meant for measuring the eye temperature. It can able to measure the temperature starting from 250 degrees centigrade to 1200 degrees centigrade. And third equipment is lux meter. Lux meter is basically used for doing the any audit related to the lighting study. It measures the output of the light in terms of lux level. So this equipment is very handy tool, can be used for auditing any lighting load. It may be a building, it may be industrial thing. Fourth equipment right now what we are having in our lab is that anemometer. This anemometer is used to measure the velocity of the air in terms of meter per second. And final equipment we are having in our lab is thermohygrometer. This equipment is used to measure the dry bulb and wet bulb temperature of any air conditioning system. So this equipment is widely used for auditing any air conditioning system. So let us see our lab. In our lab, we are having the dedicated system for calibrating the single phase energy meter, which is having the application in a residential application as well as industrial application. The main purpose of having this calibration system is the people can do the calibration of the energy meter by their own. So by doing this kind of calibration system, the student can have the basic knowledge in how the energy can be calculated both theoretically as well as practically. At the end of the instrument, at the end of the practical, the student can understand what is the energy meter, how it can be done theoretically as well as practically. Now we are standing in front of the PLC, that is Delta PLC. Right now if you are seeing the panel, panel is looking like an industrial panel where we are having the dedicated PLC and dedicated IOs, that is input and output system, and we are seeing the relays. So the output which is taken from the PLCs cannot be able to drive the load. It has to be connected through the relay. So what we are using in our lab is we have been designed especially system which will be covering the industrial loads. So in our lab we will be having the dedicated systems where the students can able to write the logic in the system. After completion of the logic, it can be compiled manually as well as automatically. Then after the compilation, the program will be transferred to the system. Whatever the logic written in the PLC can be executed PLC. The output we can able to see practically by making this IO to be high as well as low. So it is the. In our lab, we are having one more main equipment called servo drive. In the servo drive, we are having both the servo drive as well as servo motor. We are having the Delta Make servo motor, servo drive. What is the main application of this drive means? It having the practical application in CNC machine. So in our lab we have been having the application like such a way that the output of the servo drive is going to drive one small conveyor system. So students can whatever they want to make the logic, they can able to write the logic in the PLC. The same thing it can be communicated to the servo drive. So whatever logic we are returning in the servo drive can be executed through the PLC. So it cannot be work independently without using the PLC. So we designed the separate dedicated system for the servo drive which compromises the Delta PLC as well as servo drive system, which is consisting of servo drive and servo motor. What the student will do means in this PLC, in this practicing, the student have to do the logic such a way that to controlling the motor in speed control as well as position control. So both the things can be done using this servo drive system. So the student can able to write the logic and they can able to execute the thing and able to see physically what is happening in the system. Next PLC what we are having in our in-house lab is we are having the Select PLC. Model number is MM3010. In this PLC, it is Select PLC. What is the video of this PLC means it is having the both PLC as well as HMI function. The both the things has been inbuilt in single PLC. That is the strength of this select PLC. For the student to understand what will be making the student to be comfort means we will be teaching this PLC for the first time. So the students will have the basic knowledge in the writing the logic. After they comfortable with the select PLC, then we will be putting the students in the Siemens PLC. So what is the strength of this PLC means the student have to write a small logic in the select PLC. Then it has to be having the facilities that it can be compiled both offline as well as online. The student will have to done the offline communication, then it can be done for the online application. That is the strength of the select PLC. Apart from this select PLC, we are having one more PLC called as Siemens PLC. It is the latest PLC what we are having in our lab, and it is the latest Siemens PLC which has been released by the Siemens. It is Siemens PLC. It is a model number what we are having in our lab is CPU 1212C. It is having the inbuilt IOs and outputs. Apart from this, it is having the special type of communication called Ethernet communication. It has been communicated through Ethernet cable. Apart from this communication cable, what we are having is we are having the dedicated input and outputs. It can be interfaced externally to the PLC. So whatever the logic can be written in the PLC can be executed parallelly by having the real inputs and outputs which is connected to the system. It is about the select Siemens PLC, and we are having the dedicated HMI for knowing the graphical information about the PLC, what is happening in the system. That can also be done physically by the students. So whatever they want to do physically, graphically can be done by interfacing this HMI with the PLC. In our lab, we are having the VFDs called ABB drive. The model number is ACS 150. If you are seeing this panel, we will be having the dedicated digital inputs. It can be interfaced with the VFDs. Apart from this, it requires some digital inputs that can be taken from the Siemens PLC. In our lab, we are having the one more VFD drive which is of make Siemens PLC that can be easily interfaced with the Siemens PLC. The model number is V20 drive. It is similar to ABB drive. It is having the additional features compared to the ABB drive. So it also gives the student to have the varieties of training program in case of speed control as well as constant speed application. In our lab, we are having the basic things related to electrical engineering, related to sensors, contactor. So in our lab, we are having the dedicated system which will be covering the contactors. We have been built a separate circuit. All the three-phase motor can be controlled by using the contactors. Apart from this, we are having the real timers, on-delay timers. By this timer, we can able to control the three-phase motor. For the wiring, what we have done, it can be shown practically. Apart from this, we are having the basic things related to sensors, relays, everything was been inbuilt for student practical purpose. We have done this kind for student practical purpose. It is related to automations field. The rest of the things what we are having for energy auditing will be explained by our colleague Prabhakar.
Okay, in our NSIC campus, we are also doing the energy auditing for the industries. We are having that some dedicated equipments for this energy auditing. We are using mainly this is the total equipments for the we are using energy auditing. This is the main equipment for our audits. This power analyzer. Okay, this is the probes for measuring the voltage and current. Okay, this is the probes for measuring the current rating up to 6500 amps. And another one is this is the contact and non-contact type tachometer for measuring the RPM of the any motor. And next one is the thermohygrometer for finding the performance of AC, for finding the RH or any temperature. We are using this equipment. Okay. Another one is the pyrometer. The temperature, for measuring the high level temperature, we are using this pyrometer. By using pyrometer, we can by IR rays we can find out the temperature of at every place. And another one is the anemometer for measuring the what is the flow of the air velocity. In this one, for any equipment in inlet or outlet side, we are using this anemometer. Okay. Next, another one is lux meter. What is the light intensity at a particular place? For finding this, we are using this lux meter. It is having the three different ranges. By these ranges, we can measure the what is the light level for at any place. Another one is the battery tester. For finding the whether battery is working properly or it is working or when we are giving the load it is working or not. For finding this, we can using this battery tester. By using this battery tester, we can find out the either battery is good or bad condition. Okay, this is the total equipments at our NSIC campus. These all are dedicated equipments for the industries for and doing the energy auditing. These are very costly equipments we are having at our NSIC campus. These are outside, we are not seeing this much of costly equipments for doing the energy auditing. We are also providing the hands-on training on this, all the equipments for the BE level or MTech level students.
Hope in this video we have shown our technical strength what we are having in NSIC lab. Hope that you can able to know about our strength. So definitely on behalf of NSIC, I will be assuring that by undergoing training in our institute, definitely you can able to gain employment opportunity. Apart from that, you can able to gain very good knowledge. So we can able to increase your confidence level. It will be helpful in getting the job very easy compared to others. Thank you.